don't typically do videos like this, but trying to grow my channel, so I figured I would do 5 things I hate about my 1977 F-150. So this was my first Dentside Ford pickup truck. Got it in 2022, right after I got married. It's one of my work trucks, so I actually use it. I put a lot of wood and it's just stuff in the back, so it gets used. It gets used good. It's been a really good truck for me. I paid $10,000 for it out in Arizona and shipped it up to Wisconsin. And I've been trying to get it back to original condition, and I want it to be showroom condition. So with that, let's get into the 5 things I hate about this truck. Instead of saying 5 things I need to fix on this truck or 5 things that are a pain in the butt that need to be done on this truck, I'm gonna rope all those into one. The truck was said to be a lot better condition than it is when I bought it. They said I could drive it home. They said that there's no Bondo on it. They said that the body's all original. I found that's not the case. So there's a lot of different stuff, like the trim molding is the black parts coming out, and I'm missing trim molding here, and it's dented here and stuff like that. But more importantly, I rolled it off the trailer and it didn't even start. I went to go start it, melted the starter wire, the starter and the battery terminal. It had a bad ground. The wiring was all messed up. I had to completely redo it. The coolant system was a mess. The evap system was a mess. The vacuum system was a mess. The truck was essentially not drivable for probably about a month after I got it. So we're gonna rope that all in one. I bought a running driving truck that was far from running and driving. So paid a lot of money for a project, but I'm gonna leave that one in the dust. It's running and driving now. So now we can move on to number 2. The second thing I hate about this truck is the steering components, or what was the steering components. So the 77 has the older style where the drag link comes up to the steering rod, and it's kind of a faulty system. So what everybody ends up doing is putting the 79, 78 steering box, drag arm, and tie rod. And that really helps stiffen up the whole front end. I just got done doing it on my truck, and man, does it make a world of difference. It's essentially what I have on my Bronco, and I really like it now. But if you're buying a 77 or a pre-77 and a half, just know that's probably should be one of the first things you do to really stiffen up the front end of this thing. So the new style, you have your pitman arm come right off your steering box, which goes directly to the drag bar. The drag bar hooks into your tie rod. So very simple system. It creates a lot less movement and it makes it a lot stronger. So when you're driving down the road, it feels a lot more comfortable. So definitely hated how it used to be. Number 3 is the door seals. So the door seals on these Dentside Fords, you have to glue them in. The glue is finicky, it's messy. I already tried it once. These are brand new seals, and they're just too stiff. A lot of people will put lithium grease on them to kind of loosen them up. You can see the old ones, it's all really ugly. It's just a messy, crappy system. So the best thing you can do is put 1995 F-150 molding on. It's a crimp style, and it pushes just right onto the door. Seals great. I got it on my Bronco and I'm just absolutely in love with it. So that's one of the first things I would do, because it really reduces the wind noise, makes the doors close way easier, really improves the overall look of the truck. And for about $100 you can really make a big improvement. But original ones, they suck. They're hard to get on there. They're hard to use. They're finicky. They crack easy. So just upgrade them. You'll be happy with it. This next one's probably going to be pretty controversial, but for number 4, I hate the steering dampener and the dual shock. So a lot of people pay extra money to put another stabilizer in, or shock absorber. And really, in my opinion, it's completely unnecessary, both on the F-150 and the Bronco, and likely even the F-250. These motors aren't nearly heavy enough, and the truck is so darn light that having them up front really is just for looks. It doesn't really get you any further down the road. It makes it way bumpier, way rougher off-road. I have just single shocks on my Bronco, and I am just in love with them. They're rough country. Everybody knocks rough country, but I'll tell you, these Ranchero 9000 series, got 4 of them and they ride like crap. Really would not recommend them. I would recommend something OEM, something that's a single shock. It's going to be way better. Another thing is this dampener down here. So this one is stock. Keep that one. It really helps out just with the steering a little bit. But this one down here is supposed to help with hitting rocks and stuff, but it ends up leaking all the time. It ends up getting hit on stuff, and really you cannot tell the difference. Doesn't help with drivability, doesn't help with performance. It's really just another $200-300 part that's completely unnecessary, unless you like the looks of it. So the Bronco, I actually have a dual stabilizer, super high-end one. Never put it on, never once, because I started driving it without it, and I just love it so much, I'm just not going to waste my time even installing it. And the 5th thing I hate about this truck is how hard it is to research. I've been in the truck scene for a while now, especially these Dentside Fords, so I'm really comfortable with them. I know I've taken them apart so many times, put them back together, used so many different aftermarket parts, seen all sorts of different weird stuff with them, so I feel really comfortable now. But somebody who doesn't have the time like I do, or the space to store all these parts trucks, if you don't have people in your life that just know this stuff, it's expensive. It's going to be far more expensive. I mean, when I was first getting into this, I was buying parts 3-4 times over. You know, it says online that they fit. Everybody on the internet says that that's what I need. And it just doesn't work out that way. You really have to do a lot of trial and error, and it's expensive and it's time consuming. I mean, you might put on new parts and you realize all the parts don't fit, or the parts don't jive, or the parts just are crappy. They're not as good as what everybody online said. I'll give you an example here. My hood doesn't close very good. You can see how high it is up here, and then how low it is over here. Now, everybody on the internet, I shouldn't say everybody, but on the forums, everyone was saying, it's your hinges, it's your hinges. You need to take off your hinges, you need to put new hinges on. Well, the hinges are about 90 bucks a piece. I ended up buying both of them. It's a pain in the butt job by yourself, so you have to have a friend come over and do them. And the new hinges are on. They look good, but they're not the original color. They're supposed to be a dark gray charcoal color. Another thing is they're all greased up, but brand new, they're really stiff. So it's kind of hard to lift up, so you find yourself not opening it all the way, and then you hit your head on it. But really the problem is it just doesn't close right. So it was a lot of time, effort, and money to get this hood to close right, still closing wrong. And the whole problem is something extremely simple. The bushings on the radiator support are just a little worn out. I just need to put a couple washers in and it'll raise the whole front clip up. And you know, such a simple solution. And somebody who's been doing this for a long time will go, well, duh, how stupid can you be? But someone like me who was new to it, they just wanted a simple solution, and new hinges made sense. Put a new part on and it'll fix it. It's not always the case. A lot of the time you're gonna have to put old stuff on, you're gonna have to trial and error things, and it's time consuming and it's expensive. But that's gonna be the end of this video. First video with this 1977 F-150. So hope you enjoyed it. I make new videos every single Wednesday, so if you like this kind of stuff, whether it's truck stuff, welding stuff, mechanic stuff, Dentside Ford stuff, I got plenty more of it. I like to make videos. I like to work on trucks, so every Wednesday I'm trying to grow the channel, trying to put out videos. And leave me a comment, leave me a like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.